Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, super excited about having Melissa. Is it Monjaraz? Did I pronounce that right?
Monjaraz,
Right.
however you want to pronounce it. You're good.
Okay, out of Chandler, Arizona.
Yes.
And Melissa is a superstar, not only a loan officer superstar, but also on Instagram. She has an incredible presence, over 6,000 followers. And I looked at a lot of people to help us out and be a speaker on our meeting here about Instagram, but I was really drawn to Melissa because she has a terrific mixture of content. It's not all straight business. She mixes in some humor. She mixes in some personal stuff. And it's just, to me, just a lot more interesting than people that are just, all business. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. The first thing I want to ask Melissa is, okay, so you've been in the business since 2003, if I have that right.
Correct. Yep.
And so let's go in a time machine all the way back, because we have a lot of rookies on this call that are just trying to get traction. So how did you get things started? Like, can you remember your first 2 or 3 loans way back when?
Yes. So I started back in 2003. I had moved from Northern California to Arizona and got a job at a mortgage company as a receptionist. And I did that for about 6 months. And my boss came to me and he said, "You should be a loan officer." And I'm like, "You're crazy. Everyone here has been in the business for like 20, 30 years. My parents never owned a home. I know nothing about mortgages." And I was 23 at the time. And he convinced me, gave me a desk with a piece of paper of leads and a script. And he said, "Just go at it. Use the script and call as many people as you can." And the first deal that I closed, mind you guys, I am not a salesperson. I am actually super shy. So it was definitely out of my comfort zone. But that first deal that I closed, I was like, "Mark, is this like really my commission check?"
Right.
And at the time, I only got 50% of the commissions. He's like, "Yeah, that's your check. And that's with one loan." He's like, "So think about if you do 2 or 3 a month." And I was like, my brain just went crazy. I was like, "Oh my God, I don't need to go to college anymore." I was going to go to college to become an accountant because I love numbers. And so that was the end of that. I never went back to college, and I've been doing mortgages ever since. It's
So
been
just from some cold calling?
Just from some cold calling. The guy I worked with, he was actually younger. Everybody that worked there was in the business a long time, but he was younger. But he was on the forefront of like internet leads when nobody was.
Right.
And so, yeah, just cold calling.
Awesome.
And yeah, so that's kind of how I got started in the business. And of course, then you guys may all know that the market crashed in 2008. And at that point, I decided to dive into real estate. I was curious and I love looking at houses and new builds and all that good stuff. So I did that for about 4 years. And then I got approached by a top mortgage team. They were looking for a loan officer. And I always knew that I wanted to go back to mortgages. Like that's my passion. Like I liked real estate, didn't love it. And so in 2012, I joined one of the top 2 teams in Arizona. And I just learned what a top team does and just stayed there for about 5 years, worked my tail off. And then in 2017, November of 2017, I finally took the plunge and decided, okay, it's time for me to go on my own. And some will say it's like, well, maybe I took a little bit longer to go on my own, but
There's no
everything.
There's no set timetable on how this works.
Yeah.
But here you are today,
Yep.
big success. So let's talk about Instagram. So it looks like you've gone pretty much put all your chips down on Instagram, and I'm assuming it's working well because I see some of the posts get hundreds of likes. So tell us about, what you do on Instagram. Do you have a set plan and so forth?
I do. So my Instagram, I started back in October 2020. But it was just like posts, like feed posts. It wasn't stories or reels or anything like that. It was just me, a picture of me. I had a photographer and I just post pictures. And then last year, July of 2021, I got a social media gal who started helping me and creating reels and doing just more of the funny stuff, the dancing stuff. And you guys, that was a year ago. Okay. And it's crazy, like how I came from like the bottom and went up super quick just by doing a little bit of everything, like the feed posts, the stories, the reels. I was doing IGTV at one point, but that's kind of died out. And so it's just crazy that there's not a lot of competition in our industry. You may look at people and say like, oh, it's saturated, or I can't do that. I can't do video. I don't know how many people come up to me and say, I can never do what you do, or you're just so great at it. You're a natural. I'm like, absolutely not. I just started doing video in July of 2021. I mean, you would never, I was that person. Like, I can't do video. I don't even know what I would say. But the more you do it, the more you'll get, and you stay consistent with it, you actually will find that you may love video. That's what happened to me. I love doing video. So now I have a videographer. He comes every 2 weeks. And as you do it, you learn new tips and tricks, which I could tell you guys a little bit more about that.
But so you didn't love it the first video?
Oh gosh, if I showed you my bloopers, I mean, just to do one video, it was taking me like 30, 45 minutes. I just couldn't, I couldn't stick with it. I couldn't remember my lines. And then finally one day my videographer says, oh, by the way, I have a teleprompter. And I looked at him like, what the heck? Like, why did you take so long to tell me that?
Right.
So,
well, it really comes across natural, like you're not using any kind of teleprompter or anything.
Nobody knows I'm using a teleprompter, but that's the trick, you guys. If you could use a teleprompter, which you could just download the teleprompter app on your phone, on your iPad, and go at it, because that was the game changer. So I would say about 6-7 months ago, I started using the teleprompter. And now with the teleprompter, I can knock out, I'd say 7 to 10 videos in an hour or less.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so I notice some of them are kind of serious mortgage advice, which I think you do a terrific job with. But then other ones are more comedic, and some of it is just personal stuff. So how do you know? So what's your mix?
So in the beginning, if you kind of go back or scroll down, you'll see that a lot of my videos were kind of like, how can I put it? Kind of girly, kind of cute, funny, silly. And that was more my social media gal. She was the one, she would come to my office and help me do some of the silly reels and stuff like that, because I didn't know how to do them. I didn't know how to edit them. I'm just a loan officer, right?
Right.
But I taught myself, so now I can do them on my own. Plus she'll come here to help me. But we started doing a lot of those types of reels. And then I've gone to a lot of masterminds and conferences. I'm investing in learning video, right? Instead of going home and watching TV, I'm watching a YouTube video on, what's working and what's not working. But in going through these conferences, I'm learning. Instagram is constantly changing, so you got to kind of stay on top of it. But I've learned that what people want to know is people need education. We need to be there to educate. But the problem is people's attention spans. You have 2 seconds. They're scrolling In 2 seconds, they're going to decide if they're going to stop and watch your video. So you got to hook them really quick. Right. And so that's what I learned. So I'm doing some of that, and you'll see other people on Instagram that just do pure video business education. But for me, it's not how many followers you have. It's you're trying to build a community of people that want to follow you. So I don't want to have it all business. I think a combination of some business education and then some silly fun stuff and a little bit of your family. And I think you're golden. I think you're going to what's the word? You're just going to connect with more people in your community because they're going to be able to know you, like, and trust you and decide if they want to work with you.
Right. And think you're interesting enough that they're not just gonna stop following you after their loan closes.
Yep.
There's got to be something. So that's why, to me, it's very impressive when mortgage people accumulate a lot of followers, because why are they interested in Melissa the day after they close on their home? But it's because you present a variety of different videos that's fun and interesting. So so there's this concept of, quantity leads to quality. So have you come up with any kind of analysis on what works and what doesn't work? Can you give us a few tidbits?
Yes, I can tell you that right now with Instagram, what doesn't work is long form video. Okay. It's all like you want to stay under a minute, but preferably under 20 seconds.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Because again, people's attention spans, they're not going to want to sit there and watch an IGT video for 3 minutes. You could do long form video. That would be more like YouTube, where you're going to do longer videos. And it's not a bad idea because then people want to know more. They want more of you. So they'll go try to find you on YouTube. And that's where you can elaborate a little bit more. But Instagram, you want to keep it short, preferably under 20 seconds. If you go watch my videos, they're just quick education, short, and they're reels. We call them video reels. But what you do is when you post a video reel, you then share it to your feed post, right? And then you share it to your stories. So your stories are more for the people that already follow you. Okay.
So the stories are permanent parts of your feed.
Correct.
I can scroll through and find all of your past stories.
No. So stories will only stay on there for about 24 hours.
Okay, so I got it backwards. So the stories are the short ones that go at the top, and then they're there for 24 hours.
Yep.
And then you share
and
those.
And then they're gone.
Yeah.
And then your feed post, like if you look at my Instagram profile page, you see all those, that's my feed post. And then the second column, if you click on the second column on the Instagram profile page, that's reels. Okay. And that's those short form reels. Put it this way, reels is the equivalent to TikTok.
Right.
That's all reels is. And so that's the thing, you want to hook your people, right? You want to provide a hook. Like, are you looking to buy a home in 2022? And then you put the problem or information and then a solution. So there's a formula to the script. And honestly, a lot of you could, you can make your own scripts, but you just want to make a statement or you want to ask a question, and that's going to get your hook because, are we in a recession? You guys, the topic right now is recession. So if you say recession, yep, people are going to click on that video. They're going to share your video. And so that's just kind of where the magic happens is getting a hook and then maybe a couple, I'd say 3-4 sentences after that. And that's your video reel. And honestly, guys, if you look at my Instagram, take my scripts. I don't care. Here's the thing. You have different followers than I do, right? You're in a different state. You're different. And so we could say the same script, but it's going to come across differently. And so honestly, that's kind of what we all do in our industry is we take it from here and you could just make it your own, throw in some words that are, that resonate with you, or you're kind of like, okay, that's a word that I would say. So you can kind of change some words in between and just copy my scripts, you guys.
So how much of your business do you think comes from your online presence?
Well, here's the crazy thing, okay, is I feel like I'm in a coaching program and they coach me on just being diligent about doing my daily themes and for loan officers, right? The one thing they don't teach us is social media. And so I'm kind of
Nobody
learning
does.
it. I'm learning it as I go, believe it or not. But I have found something that is amazing. And I tried it and it worked. And I'll tell you what that is right now. But I literally do not make any cold calls to realtors. I meet every single realtor through Instagram. It's kind of insane. And this has only happened, I want to say, in the last 4 to 5 months.
Okay.
So what I do is obviously my Instagram, I've been working at it for, I would say, a good year with the videos and the funny posts and stuff like that. But what I do is I have a script and I'm happy to share it with you guys. And Stephen, I can always email it to you and you can email it to everybody else.
That'd
And
be
you guys
terrific.
can change it as you like, right? But I literally, so obviously I have a lot of realtors and lenders that follow me throughout the year. And so what I do is I send them a private message on Instagram, and it's really simple what I say, right? It's just kind of like, hey, if it's a girl, I'm like, hey, girly, I just have to say, I love your Instagram. I love your reels. I'm a local lender in your area, and I would love to teach you more about what I'm doing to help you grow your business on social media. Would like to meet for coffee, brunch, or lunch. That's literally all I say. And it is crazy. If I send like 10 a week, not too many, because then I'll fill up my calendar. That's how crazy it is. I will get about 60 to 70% that respond to me and say, yes, I would like to meet. Or the others might say, well, I already have my preferred lender, right? That kind of thing. But it's literally, that's how I book my appointments. So for the last 3 to 4 months, I've been meeting with a ton of realtors every single week, and they're all through Instagram.
That's terrific. It took, unfortunately, the average age in mortgages and real estate, I mean, I know that you're much younger than this, but the average age is in their 50s. And a lot of these people didn't grow up with social media, or none
Right.
of us. And so, it's all like this big magical thing that we don't understand. And yeah, I got a connection with a real estate office simply by offering to train them on Facebook. So
Wow.
yeah, so it's very powerful as far as a differentiator. I think it's terrific
Yep.
advice. Does anybody have any questions? Can you raise your proverbial hand, the electronic hand here? Or just blurt out a question.
I'm just gonna
Cassidy
throw
and
one out
Sean.
there.
Yes,
Cassidy,
hi, sorry. Who's going
go
first?
ahead.
No, so I was just wanting to ask, how do you decide like who to follow? Do you look for prospective clients on Instagram or mostly realtors, or how do you actually like connect?
So that's a really great question. And believe it or not, I wasn't following a lot of realtors. They found me. Again, you guys, there's not a lot of competition out there for lenders on social media. I would say there's more realtors on social media than lenders. Okay. So once you start doing it and you're consistent with it, you're going to start getting, just by like the hashtags and doing the videos consistently, realtors will find you and they'll start following you. And so I just started messaging the realtors that were following me. I wasn't really just messaging like random realtors. However, that's something that I'm working on right now. And here's what I did. I emailed my title company and I said, email me the top 250 realtors just in my town, not even in my state, but just in my town. So she emailed me and I had my admin go and follow all of them. And what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start commenting and liking their posts, right? And so once I do that for about a month or two, then I'm going to go and message them. And then what happens is when you message them, then they're going to go look at your profile. And if your
Absolutely.
profile is, and you guys, even if you've been doing this for a month, but you're consistent with it, it doesn't matter. You don't need to have been doing it for about a year like me. Even a month, if they could just see the last month, you've been doing a ton of video, they're going to be like, oh, wow, she knows what she's doing. I want to meet with her. So that's an easy way in, because here's the thing about realtors right now. They're getting really tired of the cold calls from every lender. They don't want the cold calls anymore. So this is a different way. It's a different approach. And
absolutely.
right.
It's gotten to the point where a phone call is like considered a rude interruption.
Yep.
You know, there are people that like don't answer their phone except for like the 5 people in their family.
Yep.
Because they want to talk on their time. So yeah, so we really need to evolve. You know, there's still a lot of people pushing the get 40 agents, call them every Monday, you know, all that stuff we used to do back in the 90s.
Right.
And it's time to evolve marketing. I mean, I just had a lady on that closed 175 million last year off of YouTube. So it can be done. We are in a new era. And from what you're talking about, you are, you know, it looks like you're doing a great job at a portion of it. And now you're getting ready to go like full board with these agents and connections. I think that your business is just going to explode.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions? Oh.
Hey, Melissa, thanks for doing this for us.
Absolutely.
My question is, how many times are you posting per day or per week?
Great question. So my social media gal, she posts once a day, except Mondays. So 6 days a week she's posting. And believe it or not, I'm not posting a lot on my stories. I should be. But I just got back from a conference in Vegas and Gary V was there. Bradley, Ed Milet, Renee Rodriguez, there's all these great speakers there. But the one thing that Gary V said is, he said a few things, but he said, we need to be posting 10 to 15 pieces of content every day. And now, mind you, that sounds like, holy smokes, that's a lot. But everything that you do in Instagram, you can just press save and download it to your phone. You can repurpose that same video to TikTok. You guys, it's actually super easy. Okay. You could just repurpose it there. And then you could share your Instagram video to Facebook, personal page. I don't recommend business page. Nobody really even goes to Facebook business page anymore. Right. I'd share it to your personal page. And then you could do YouTube shorts. You could use that same video. And so that's what Gary was saying. It's like, it's free advertisement. Think about that. And if you're on all these different platforms, I mean, you could even post it on LinkedIn. So that's that. Okay. So then if you're on Instagram, you're posting on your story, your reel, your feed post, that's 3 right there. But the thing, what they were telling us is throughout your day, maybe you even have your phone with like a tripod and you're just letting it record when you're having a phone conversation or a meeting, or you have a nugget that you want to share and you're talking to the video. You want to share what you're doing throughout the day on your stories, because people, believe it or not, they want to know. They like to see that. It's kind of like a reality show.
Absolutely. They're very voyeuristic. I mean, that stupid Kardashian show's been on the air for like 15 years. Yep. And so what you're touching on is Gary's philosophy of the document rather than create, because to create something takes a lot of effort.
A lot of work. Yeah.
You know, and it's good and you should, but to document something, that just happened, you know, is a lot easier, and people like it. People like the behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think we're at a point where people just want to know you. Like, just be real, just be who you are, and you will attract the people that you want to work with. I think that's what's happening with me. I attract a lot of women, I don't know, my age group. And it's funny when I meet them in person, they want to hug me, first of all, because they feel like they know me.
Right.
And then when I'm there, it's like, whoa, it's this magical connection that I feel like, oh my God, I want to work with this agent. And obviously she wants to work with me. So I meet with them and I do it's more personal. Where are you from? What are your dreams and goals? You know, that kind of stuff. What are your hobbies? And then I set up a second business meeting in my office. And that's kind of how that all pans out. But yeah, the content piece, I mean, you know, you could just grab your phone and talk to your, you know, just do a selfie video, right? Hey guys, I just had a client I helped about 3 months ago. You know, they had a 580 credit score. I got them to a 680 credit score in the matter of 3 months. Now they're in their home, they got pre-qualified or whatever, right? Like, you're just telling stories, like real life stories about what you did for a client that day, and post it on your stories. And
I
that's,
want to, yeah, I
yeah,
agree with you 100%. I want to clarify a point. You have a social media person that helps you.
I do.
Uh,
Yes.
Okay, but and correct me if I'm wrong. So they really help you with all of the mechanics, but it's you that's doing the social media. I mean, it's always about you. You cannot,
Correct.
right? You cannot outsource yourself. And
Correct.
so some people feel like, you know, my 18-year-old niece really gets this. I'll pay her $12 an hour and then she can handle
Right.
my social media and leave me alone.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't outsource yourself. Yeah,
Nope.
that person can help you edit a video, but
Yes.
it's got to be you.
It's got to be you. You have to be the one to show up. And here's the one thing that I'm learning too is you can pick, because I know a lot of people may say, well, I don't have the time, right? Because that's what I was saying. You can batch your videos with the teleprompter and having the scripts that you're going to use. You can batch your videos. So you can pick one day a month, or like me, I pick twice a month that I shoot all my videos, and then it's done. I give it to my social media gal, and then she posts all the videos. She edits, writes the content, and it's done. I don't have to think about it or worry about it. She comes once a month and I would say maybe about 7 to 8 of the funny reels. And then throughout the month that's what she uses for my post. And that's it. And then once a month I'll go take photos with a photographer. So it's a system, right? You just have it all set up and it's just reoccurring every month. It's on your calendar. You show up, get it done, and then you go back to doing what you're doing. And it's like, you will see so much growth with Instagram. It just boggles my mind that, let me tell you something, you guys, I was at an awards event that I got last night. I had all these young loan officers coming up to me saying like, I'm so embarrassed. I follow you. I don't know. I wasn't sure if I should come up to you, but I follow you on social media. You're amazing. And it's like, I only have 6,000 followers. I'm not like an influencer with like 50,000 or 100,000 followers, but it is crazy to me how you can get noticed in the community. You know
It
what
really,
I mean?
yeah, it really makes a huge impact. You're a micro influencer worldwide, but you're a major influencer in your hometown.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think it's terrific. I mean, whether we like it or not, all salesmen today, whether it's mortgages, real estate, cars, or boats, we're in the marketing business. You know, we just need to come to terms with we're marketers, and our product and all that is secondary. So,
Exactly.
and you know, and I always tell loan officers, think long term. I mean, Melissa, you've sold real estate, you've done
Yep.
mortgages, but
Yep.
with this following on Instagram, you could literally sell anything and
Yep.
you'll be a success because you have a community.
Right.
So I think it's awesome. I want to be respectful of your time, and I'm so appreciative. You've really given us some terrific advice here. I've taken some notes, and I'm gonna watch this again to catch more
Yeah.
of what you said.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Anytime if you guys ever need me to come back, and again, I'm still learning.
Right.
I'm not an expert, but I am definitely still learning. And I do take the time to teach myself new tips and tricks and going to a lot of conferences. So as I learn more and you guys want to know more, just let me know, Stephen, and I'm happy to jump on another call. If there's something specific that you guys want to learn, I'm happy to do that. I'm an
Well,
open
thank you.
book.
That's
I love
very
to share
generous.
and help others. So if you guys have any more questions, follow me on Instagram. It's Home Loans with Melissa, and you guys can always send me a private message. And like I said, I'm happy to help or jump on a 10-15 minute call with you guys.
Thank you so much. Have
You're
an
so
awesome
welcome.
day.
You too, guys. Bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Wow. Well, I thought she was really a terrific guest. So, okay, so we're going to do a deep dive into Instagram, and I am going to once again attempt to share my screen here. Do, do, do. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Aha, here it is. Okay, can you see that where it says Instagram full screen? Can you see that? No. Okay.
It's just a white screen.
Can you see it now?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to preface this by saying that as far as social media goes, I am the least knowledgeable about Instagram. I've learned a tremendous amount researching this presentation and feel like I have a pretty good handle, but I am definitely not an Instagram expert. Okay, let's get going. So to open your account, you have to sign up for an Instagram account. You choose a username so she has Homes by Melissa, which I think is a terrific, simple name. You come up with your own. There's 3 ways to use Instagram. You can use it on your phone, your desktop, and then there's a desktop application. I find that the website and the desktop application are very similar. There may be just some nuanced differences. You add your profile photo, a biography, and you want to put everything about your business in your profile, and you want to put links to your website and your application or whatever you have, so that when people click over to learn about you, they see that. You can sync all of your contacts if you want, and that'll help you kind of get jump started as far as making connections on Instagram. And I think it's very important to link your Facebook account. And the reason why you link them is that you can share posts very easily and kind of double dip on your Facebook posts for sure. You set up your notifications so it'll let you know, when you get engagement and so forth. This will drive you crazy, and eventually you will probably turn off your notifications or make them once a week or something like that. So you describe what you do in your Instagram name and bio. This will make your account more likely to appear in searches. for similar products and services. Okay, so there's 3 different accounts with Instagram. There's a personal account, a creator account, and a business account. Basically, a personal account is going to have the largest reach, but it is very limited on what you can do with it. It does have the ability to go private, but nobody wants to be private if you're trying to embellish your mortgage business. So you want to choose either a creator or a business account. Now, Instagram got started by basically photographers and artists that wanted a way to share their work. And there are a lot of editing tools. You see in Melissa, she's got music and so forth. I am pretty sure that she uses the creator account, but the creator and business are going to give you more creative features. Obviously, the creator has the most. The business account has better analytics to see about people who have viewed it and their demographic information and so forth, and has more options for advertising if you want to go that way down the road. You can't auto-publish from other platforms on the creator account, but you can on the business account. So I use the business account because then it takes my Facebook posts and it automatically have it set up so it reposts those on Instagram. Instagram allows you to have up to 5 different accounts, so that's different than Facebook. And you can switch your account types without losing all of your history. So it's a little bit more flexible in that regard. Okay, so what do these buttons mean? When you go on Instagram, you're going to see these 5 buttons. The first one that looks like a house is the home button. That's your main feed where you scroll through the photos and videos. The magnifying glass is the search, and this will let you, takes you to an explore page where you can search for various items. Whatever you search for, it's going to show you more and more in your feed. So if you search for Corvettes, you're going to get pictures and stories about Corvettes all the time. Okay, the plus sign is the upload, and this is where you push to create. You can pull pictures and videos from your phone, but you can also create them on the fly. So you can record a video right then and make it native to Instagram without having to find it and upload it. It's just right there. You'll have to basically play with this and see all of the nuances. The activity, the heart, takes you to a page that displays like and comments on your post among other activities, so you can kind of see everything that's going on as far as activity. And then of course the profile takes you to your profile page that has your bio and so forth. Okay, so Instagram and Facebook, as you know, Facebook owns Instagram, and there are a lot of features are similar. The video and photo sharing you can do on both platforms. You can share posts and stories. You can leave comments and like somebody else's post, just like Facebook. You can add a location. You can tag people in your posts, just like you do on Facebook. And you send friend requests, but they're called follow requests, or you can block someone if they're irritating you. And it also has a shopping platform. So all of these are similarities between Instagram and Facebook. So the concepts, if you're on Facebook and you're looking to learn Instagram, they're not real foreign or new. Okay, but here are some differences. Number one is keep in mind that Facebook has more than double the users. It's an older platform, and it's the largest in the world. So it's hard to avoid Facebook completely. Facebook allows text-only posts. So with Instagram, it's very visual. You have to have a picture or a video. You can't just post text only. Okay, Instagram is more mobile oriented. So Facebook was originally on computers and they made it kind of mobile ready And it does work well on a phone, but Instagram was made for the phone day one. There were smartphones already out when Instagram came around. So Instagram has a slightly younger demographic, but it's not what you think. The average user is about 10 years younger, but both of them, if you take 25 to 35 demographic, that is the largest on both platforms. So it's not a platform that's for kids. Instagram requires all posts have visual aspect. We already mentioned that. And a lot of people say that Instagram is more positive, that Facebook, you get a lot of those heated political discussions, and you don't see that as much on Instagram. So overall, it's got more of a positive environment to it. Okay, building your community. So here's a real easy way to get jump started. Follow your Facebook friends on Instagram. So when you follow somebody, they get notified and they have a tendency to follow you back. Follow influencers that you like Melissa, or if you like Elon Musk, whatever, follow them. The info is made public. So it kind of gives a little bit of insight into your personality. When you follow people, I can kind of tell, what kind of person you're like. Make comments on people and posts that you like, just like you're doing on Facebook. This will help them have an interest in you. A lot of people will click back and then they'll follow you. In that strategy that Melissa talked about following the agents in the area, I think is a terrific one. So post consistently and share a wide variety of content types. That was one of the things that drew me to Melissa. There are other people that have 10, 15,000 followers in the mortgage business, but every single one of their posts was informational. And I just have to think that the majority of their followers are just other people in the industry. Nothing wrong with that, but I mean, you obviously want to get to some customers and some referral partners. So collaborate with influencers to expand your reach. So, you can ask them to repost one of your posts, or you can repost and share one of their posts. And if you can get to them and get them to share something, then it's going to really open up your audience. Cross promote your Instagram account on your website and other social media feeds. Pay attention to the content that gets the most engagement and create more like that. So that's that quantity leads to quality philosophy. So how do you make a basic post? So tap on that plus icon that we were talking about on the top of your screen. Choose a photo or video from your library, or you can shoot one right on the fly. You can edit the image. This is one thing that Instagram is really good about, but you have to make sure it doesn't turn into a time sucker. But it allows you to crop and use filters and stickers and widgets and music overlay and and all that good stuff. You definitely want to type a caption, because people are going to look at it for like 2 seconds before they decide whether they're even going to spend the 35 seconds to watch your video. So use hashtags. We talked about this on other platforms for post optimization, and tag your friends. They don't have to be part of the video, but you could just tag them and say, sometimes I do this with Brian Lavelle. He probably gets irritated, but I see something that I think is really interesting in the mortgage business, and then I tag him on it to get his 2 cents. Add your location and share it. You can share that post on your other media platforms so that you can double dip with your efforts and get more exposure that way. So our little helpful hint here: be active, following and creating content around the hashtags that are relevant to your brand. That's the next best way for your followers to find you in the search. Any questions so far? Okay, so types of Instagram posts. So there's a couple different ways to do it, and we kind of talked about this with Melissa. You can send somebody a direct message. That's kind of self-explanatory. They're the only ones that see it. You can post something into stories, and this will stay active for 24 hours. Now, you can mark it and code it differently, and the person receiving it, if they get your stories, can code it so that in their setup so that it stays longer. But without any special consideration, it's going to stay active for 24 hours, and then it's going to disappear, or it's going to go down and stay in your feed if you've set it up that way in your settings. Also, you can pin certain posts to your profile. You'll see those as little circles along the bottom. If you want to, if it's some sort of evergreen post that you want to keep forever. Reels, these are like we're talking about, kind of like TikTok post, where they're short videos, they're fun, and you know it's good to mix those in with your other posts. You can go live on Instagram. A lot of the platforms are doing this now, so that you can, all of your followers will be notified. Hey, Adam Fry is live. You can say, hey, I'm live at this open house. Let me show you about this amazing kitchen and living room. Okay. Obviously, you can set up videos. They used to have what's called IGTV, which was for long-term videos, but I think that a lot of people have migrated those over to YouTube. There's also what's called Carousel Post, which are when you post several photos and or videos in a single post, and then it will basically do a slideshow when people click on it and go through your pictures that way. Does anybody have, I know it's a lot to take in. Does anybody have any questions about it? I'm just trying to expose everybody to it. And then obviously it's going to take some time when you're in to learn this stuff. Okay, Instagram SEO. SEO, search engine optimization. So you want to write descriptive captions with your keywords. You want to add keywords to your Instagram profile name, like Melissa, Homes by Melissa, or whatever she has, so that people see that that's what she's all about. You can include 5 to 20 relevant hashtags in your posts. So if you're talking about low rates, hashtag may be refinance, cash out refinance, whatever. So if people are searching that, yours will pop up. And you add descriptive, what they call alt text, to your Instagram post. Now, this is kind of a little bit of a trick. So alt text are photo descriptions for people with impaired sight. So if you were to post a picture of a rainbow, then you can say in the alt text, this is a photo of a rainbow on a rainy day, so that it's made for people who have impaired sight, so they can also enjoy the post. But the Instagram algorithm picks that text up as well. So it's a way to kind of cheat and get some extra SEO in there. Listen, there are all kinds of free Instagram tools, some of them within Instagram and some of them by third-party companies. I just listed some names of some really popular ones, and they will help you do all this stuff and help you pick keywords and all of that. Okay, Instagram, especially if you have a business account, then it will give you some terrific insights through analytics. You can see exactly where everybody is, how long they stayed on your post, and more active. And this, the more posts you give, the more posts you do, the more information and data you get, and the better you can hone your skills. Okay, so we always talk about jab, 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 right hook, but it's a little bit different on Instagram. So Instagram actually rewards you for having a consistent message. Now, not that we can't make mortgages fun and interesting, but as far as personal posts, what I would do to continue with the jab, 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 hook philosophy is to have both a personal and a business account if you're serious about Instagram, or go mostly business on your Instagram with a consistent message and post more personal stuff on other platforms. So it's up to you. Instagram is more casual than Facebook, and documenting is very popular, like she was talking about. So don't hesitate to put, raw, casual videos and pictures. Video is obviously the most powerful. If not, you can use a photo, tag people in your post, use the @ symbol for people and the hashtag for topics. Post in the middle of the day. You can use a third-party software like Hootsuite, which you can schedule your post. So Melissa records a whole batch of them. She said 7 or 8 in one day. And then you can use Hootsuite to schedule when they're actually going to be posted. You can also do polls, are very popular. We ask people questions to encourage engagement. Which do you think is the best, A, B, or C, that sort of thing. You learn what your community wants and you feed them that information. Okay, so here's my summary. If you are creative and want to delight your community with smart and funny posts, Instagram is perfect for you. If you want to go 100% Instagram, then I would recommend having 2 accounts, one personal and one professional, so you can try and get a mix that way, because like I said, Instagram does reward consistency of subject matter. I believe that having an Instagram professional account in combination with another platform is probably the best way to go. It's really hard, I think, to totally disregard Facebook being the 800-pound gorilla in the room and 2.9 billion followers. So that's my take. I do think that there's good value in Instagram. One thing that I did notice in doing my research and finding top loan officers is there's a lot of white space there when it comes to loan officer presence on Instagram. There's just not many there compared to other platforms. So I do think that the timing is good to get a foothold on some good traffic. Does anybody have any questions about Instagram? Okay. So last week we saw one of Julietta's videos, which I thought was terrific. And today everybody was supposed to do a video about the mayor of your town strategy. And I got one from Lauren that I thought was very good. Hold on, I'm trying to do my screen share properly here. Let's see. Give me one. If I can't figure it out in 1 minute, we're going to do something else. All right. All right, here we go. Here we go. Can you see the bulldog? Okay. And let me make sure I click the button that says share the sound. Okay. So Lauren did this great video that showed 3 places to watch your favorite sports team, the Georgia Bulldogs. Okay, so we are back. So, okay, so the one thing about that video is it showed that you can do different types. You don't have to be the subject always of the video. A lot of people do voiceovers. I mean, some people are apprehensive about doing video, I understand, but you can shoot the video and be a voiceover, or you can do a video that doesn't even have you in the video, and you mix it up and you see what performs better. I think that you do need to have a certain number where you are in the video to present your personality and so forth, but just a lot of different ways to do things. So we are coming to the end. Does anybody have any questions about Instagram or videos or anything?
Did not. Oh, sorry, I did not. But I did. Did you get my email? I sent you a video.
Oh, you did?
I did, like, but it was just kind of like quick, kind of. It was my local place, local, but it's not look, super good or anything. My goodness.
Well, we'll be the judge of that. When did you send it?
I said, let me see. I sent it the day that you have the lady come last time. Oh, I forgot her name.
Okay, we're gonna watch it next time for sure. I absolutely promise. Because
That's fine.
it will take me too long to find it. But no, I definitely want to see it. So Brian, what did you think about so we had an agent, a loan officer last week that she's got 100 million in already this year to date. This girl did 45 million off of her Instagram. So what do you think about this social media stuff? You think it's gonna last?
Yeah, yes, of course it's going to last. Listen, I think the reality is, you guys tell me, you're out in the marketplace probably more than any of us, but are you going to live events and seeing the same turnout that you saw 2 years ago? Right? My guess is that you're not. So like, meaning like, let's say that you went to a board of realtor event in your local town. Are there as many realtors going to that event or that social as did pre-pandemic? I'm going to a lot of mortgage conferences right now because obviously I'm out there trying to meet loan originators and branch managers we'd like to have as part of our team. It's like a third of the attendance to maybe half of the attendance.
So Brian,
so what I'm saying is, sorry, Stephen, what I'm saying is if you're gonna truly be visible, you've got to do both, right? And you can make an impact and meet some people at an event, which that's a great way to shake somebody's hand, have a reason to make a follow-up because it's not a cold call, right? But you've also got to be visible in everything that you're doing out in the marketplace. So I think it's got to be a steady dose of both.
So Brian, you do this terrific podcast on the contacts to contracts. Have you ever been at an event where somebody said that they, that was not at Van Dyke, that said that they saw you on the podcast?
All the time.
And then so what is their demeanor? Do they come over and say, "Hey, I saw you on the podcast," or do they? No, they're like, "Hey man,"
they act like they know you. Yeah, they act like they know you.
I saw you on the I guess it's a vlog, really. I saw you on the vlog, man. The contacts to contracts, they probably get it mixed up, but it doesn't matter.
Yep.
They recognize you. So that's
a lot of times it's, "Hey, you're that guy with that mortgage podcast." That's what I get most of the time. They don't know the name of it. They may not even know my name. They just know, "Hey, you're that guy with that mortgage podcast." The other thing that I get is, I know that I know you from somewhere. Where would I have run into you at? And, you know, I don't always go straight to the, well, have you seen my podcast? Right.
And
But
here's-
I, you know, I hint around, and eventually what comes down a lot of times is that's where they recognize me from.
And Brian, what the point I want to stress is that, so you're out there trying to recruit loan officers and branches, and we're trying to recruit agents, kind of similar situation. And here's the thing, if you, and I know you and how nice and personable you are, but if I meet you at an event for the first time and you say, I'm Brian Lavelle, I'm National Sales Manager for Van Dyke Mortgage. Okay, immediately my brain is like, okay, so here's another guy that's going to try and recruit me and tell me how wonderful, right? But if I see, my first contact was you doing that vlog, and you and John, and you're joking around with some lady talking about real estate or marketing or whatever, then I have a whole different demeanor. Now I'm like, hey, I know you. And then what do you do for a living? I'm National Sales Manager at Van Dyke. And then, I mean, I'm just open to you as a person.
Mhm.
Do you
Yeah.
find that?
Yeah, absolutely. What you're saying is it takes the walls down, which, yeah, it absolutely does. And it allows me to have a conversation with somebody that doesn't have to get into what my direct intent is. Right.
Right.
And, you know, so like with anything we do, whether it's that podcast or whether it's in-person events, you know, what I would prefer to do is to be able to call Adam and say, hey man, it was great meeting you at XYZ. Instead of, hey Adam, you have no idea who I am, but I know who you are, and I'd like to have it. You kind of follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I think it's a terrific call. Now, next time, so we've already covered, we did general social media, we did Facebook, we did YouTube, we've done Instagram. Next week, well, it'll be in 2 weeks, is actually my favorite. We're going to discuss and do a deep dive into LinkedIn. And I am definitely more skilled and knowledgeable in LinkedIn. And I think that LinkedIn is very powerful, and we're going to go and do a deep dive on that. So anything else? Well, have a terrific weekend. And the good news is football season's only what, 3 weeks away? So there you go. All right, Brian, I'm going to see you next week.
I will. Looking forward to it.
All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.